Happy Friday to everybody. I'm looking forward to a well, it's not going to be a long weekend, but a regular weekend. And I hope everybody is as well. What do silent prayer and your calling have to do with each other? So, silent prayer is really any type of wordless meditation that you might do. My practice is centering prayer, but there's all kinds of silent prayer practices that you can practice. And then your calling, what really is your calling? Your calling is what, and your calling, the first thing I'll say is it's not the same thing all the time. It could be for a certain period of time what you are meant to do. 5 years from now, you're meant to do something different. And your calling could be multiple things. So your calling could be just to be a good father, to be a good mother, to be a good worker, to be a good friend, to be a good brother or sister. It could be some thing that you want to share with the world. So that's the exciting thing about your calling is a lifelong journey, a lifelong process, and it doesn't stop until we leave this earth, quite frankly. So what does silent prayer and your calling have to do with each other? Well, if you think about silent prayer, during silent prayer, you slow down. You slow down and you get rid of the clutter. It's hard, but you get rid of the clutter in your mind. Your mind is always working. Your mind is always racing, thinking. A lot of times the thoughts that you're thinking really aren't true. You're thinking that I can't do something, that I'm not confident, that I'm nervous, or you're thinking about someone else, a thought or emotion, and that's not really true. So really silent prayer slows you down, kind of moves all of these thoughts and emotions out of the way, and it helps you connect to the deepest part of you. And within the deepest part of you, I believe, is your calling. What are you meant to do? What is your true self? What is the person God wants you to become? So I believe, at least in my silent prayer practice, centering prayer, I slow down, I let go of all thoughts and emotions, and I connect to God within. God prays within me, and I believe God prays within me the actions I should take. So in other words, I come to my silent prayer practice to reconnect to my true self and become the person God wants me to be, which is my calling. So for everybody, it's different. So that's really what I think silent prayer and your calling have to do with each other is, if you think about it, all actions spawn from silence. So during silent prayer, we sit and we let go of all thoughts and emotions, and we just sit with God and we connect with our deeper self, our truer self. And then we get up from our silent sits and we move forward in life. And in my case, I strongly believe God prays in me during my centering prayer practice. I believe God prays in me the actions I should take in my life, or even just that very day. So that's what I think. I think silent prayer and your calling are very, very closely connected. And that's why I continue to sit in silence, is because I continue to connect to my true self. I can continue to connect to who I'm meant to be, even just for that day. So again, as I said earlier, your calling is different. Your calling is what you're meant to be that day, or maybe something in the future as well. And your calling is as simple as could be a mother, a father, a brother, or a sister, a good worker at your current job, or it could be a goal that you have in mind that you want to share with the world. So you really can have multiple callings. And I'll share my calling. At the present time, my calling, as kind of relayed to me during my centering prayer practice, is to try to be the best father I can. I have 3 children, a 22-year-old, a 17-year-old, and an 11-year-old. I'm a husband, I'm a worker, and I enjoy centering prayer. So I feel my calling is also just to share centering prayer with others and see if it's something they're interested in. I don't want to push it on them, but I simply want to share how life-giving and how life-changing it's been for me with others. So that's a little bit about my calling, and I discovered my calling during centering prayer, and that's why I do my practice twice a day. I keep connecting to my true self, the person God wants me to be. And then also let me just share kind of my barometer of how I know when I should move forward or not move forward on something. So if I have an inner nudge to do something, if it really excites me, that's kind of one reason to do it. And as long as it doesn't harm me or harm others, I will move forward. And fear really is never a reason to not move forward. You always need to move out of your comfort zone and try and do and grow and do new things. So fear really should not be something that holds you back. So that's all. I simply wanted to pop on and talk about, silent prayer and your calling are strongly connected. You connect to your calling in a silent prayer practice, whatever that might be for you, whether it's centering prayer or Christian meditation or Lectio Divina or walking in nature or music, whatever that silent prayer, wordless prayer meditation is for you, that's how you connect with your deepest self each day. So then you can get up from your silent prayer practice and walk with your calling every day. And as I mentioned, really the most exciting part of all this is that your calling is a lifelong journey. It doesn't have an end point, and your calling changes during different stages of your life, quite frankly. So that's it. Hope everybody has a great Friday, and thanks for those that popped on. I see Mary, Charles, and Beverly popped on. So thanks for popping on and listening to me chat a little bit about silent prayer and your calling and what they have to do with each other. Feel free to put any comments in, and I will respond to them. Or if you have any questions or just want to make a general comment for yourself as to how silent prayer and your calling in life are connected, I would love to learn more about what you think. Thanks again, everybody, and I hope everybody has a great day.